Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Soap and Sass.
How you doing?
I'm one of your hosts, Mama Sass.
And I'm Baby Sass.
So, we got to recap another week of February sweeps.
Hey.
And what a week it was. We are talking about, first of all, we should say this is episode 9.
This is episode 8.
Oh, what?
Episode 9 is next week.
Oh my gosh. Whoops. Huh. Okay. Apparently
yes, we are 8 weeks into 52 weeks.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm making all kind of mistakes. And speaking of mistakes, let me just start off by saying if you happen to listen to episode 7, and very likely it will happen again today, but I will do my level best, I do recognize that Sasha is not Willow. So if I'm talking about somebody meeting with Martin over a custody battle, the person I mean is Willow, but
Most
for some
likely.
reason, last week I kept calling her Sasha apparently, and so I will try not to do that this week.
Yes, the person you most likely mean is Willow, because there is a chance he will actually talk to Sasha.
But he didn't this past week.
No.
In today's episode, I'm talking about Willow, although I don't think it'll come up, but anyway.
No, well, because they did have an interaction.
All right. Well, let me go with the recap. So as mentioned, this is episode 8. This is the week of February 17th to 21st, 2025. In case you're listening to this in some distant future year, like 2060 or something.
Oh,
because
gosh.
podcast will still be around and General Hospital will still be on. So,
We so hope. We so hope.
right? Or, if you're, well, maybe West Indies have caught up because,
That's true.
I remember Days of Our Lives was 20 years behind and it was like, oh, they're young. Anyway, I digress. This week, we start off with a Valentine's Day. And I'm going to summarize the whole week and at once. Hopefully it won't be too long. We start off with Valentine's Day. Spinelli has introduced Lucas. Oh gosh, shipping him already.
I was like, why are we bringing in Lex Luthor into this?
Who's Luthor?
I was like, what?
Luther Vandross. No. Sorry.
Lucas
Spinelli
and Gunther.
has introduced Lucas to Gunther. We should probably start this whole podcast over.
Nah, I like where it's going.
Oh my goodness, the edits.
The flubs are what adds,
Really?
life and individuality.
All right.
Candid podcast.
Candid podcast. Spinelli has introduced Lucas to Gunther, who is a supermodel, or maybe just a model, that was working with Maxie, and they're both looking for love, except that Lucas ultimately isn't really ready for love, but he was really happy to meet Gunther. Very happy that for his first time out after his breakup with Brad all those years ago in Major Catastrophe, that Maxie hooked him up with, a really fine-looking specimen of man, according to Lucas, and he was happy, but he's really not ready. It's too soon. Gunther understands and says, when you're ready, get my number from Maxie.
He didn't look like a Gunther, though. I really thought he looked like a Wade.
Yeah, I can see that. And by the way, all of this is going down at the Savoy. Just to set the scene, the hottest club in town. Brad, who's also at the Savoy, he's over at the bar. He's kind of lamenting. Ooh, that's a good word. He's lamenting because he's still very much in love with Lucas, his ex-husband, wants to get back with him. But he's trying to respect Lucas's space, even as he drowns his sorrows. And I think Brad did a very good job of that.
I think so, too.
He didn't go interfere with anybody. He didn't make a scene.
No.
Good on you, Brad. I love me some Brad.
Even with the Portia interactions, I think he did.
He did well.
Neither of them were, Portia was a little kind of like Brad, but it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't like what we see when they're at work.
I think because of that, by the end of the evening, Lucas and Brad end up closing out their Valentine's evening together, having great conversation. Nothing romantic about it, but they spent some time together, had really good conversation, which I think was very positive.
And I think not Brad, but I think Lucas also got a little bit more insight into how Brad was feeling after everything went down
and how remorseful he truly is. And basically, for those who weren't around, in a very, very twisted story, the short version is Lucas and Brad had adopted a child. The child very unexpectedly died of SIDS. I think the very first night they had him home, Brad tried to cover it up. And in a, very twisted piece of fate, found another baby, brought it home, passed it off as the baby they had adopted, only to find out later that the baby actually was Michael Corinthos's child, and they had to give it back, which is how Lucas found out, and just things went sideways.
Anyway, back to recap.
Back to the recap. Kai and Trina are also at the Savoy. Kai is super proud of himself. This is a very last-minute date. Very, very, like, who calls up a girl on Valentine's Day and is like, what are you doing later? I'd like to take you out. Sir. And I mean, I think guys would be like, why are you having the first date on Valentine's Day? Like, already that's just trouble. But anyway.
In fairness, I was kind of hoping for that text message, but I knew that wasn't happening anyway for multiple reasons.
Which text message?
Oh, not a very specific text message, but just essentially be like, I recognized it would have been last minute, but also I was working, so I was really like, I can't.
Oh, for yourself, you mean?
Yes.
For yourself. Okay.
Yes, sorry. For myself, I was expecting a text message. I knew it wasn't coming anyway, but I was like, a girl can hope.
Right.
But I'm like, psh.
Absolutely. But, you know, Trina waffled for a bit. Joss convinced her to go, so they were also at the Savoy, and Kai was like, I got us into the hottest club in town. I got the hookup. And Trina is very amused because Trina's father owns the Savoy.
And the way she did it was hilarious.
Which she eventually let him know.
We will get back to that.
She eventually let him know. I don't know that we will.
No, I will, just briefly, because I just find it funny.
Oh, I see. Okay, because that was in stories I don't care about. Who else is at the Savoy? Chase and Brooklyn show up. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. And Drew and Willow show up as well. And Curtis is not having it because, as we know, Curtis and Drew have fallen out. And he asks Drew to leave. And he's like, oh, you're kicking us out? No, Willow can stay. You got to go. Anyway, shock and surprise. You know, Willow's like, so we have to go, huh? When Drew comes back. And he's like, I got a surprise for you. He tries to play it off, which I think... it is the one tiny thing I will give Drew credit for, as opposed to saying to his lady love, yeah, these people don't want us here or whatever, being bitter. You know, he tries to keep the evening positive for her, even though she's very well aware of what happened. So, you know, a very minuscule mustard seed kudo to, no, I wouldn't even call it a kudo. Just well done. Well done to Drew. Mustard seed. Mustard seed.
While I am... like, you know, with Curtis and, you know, taking that man aside and being like, yo, let's talk privately about this. I did kind of want him to be like, you need to go. And then be like, Willow, you can stay. You're more than welcome to stay. You need to go. But I'm like, no, I can't make a scene. After Portia said, don't make a scene.
Exactly.
Girl can dream.
There you go. So what also happened, which I was super excited, Curtis kept talking about this super special guest that he has, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh, Blaze is back! Woohoo! Because I like Blaze. I think she's a lovely woman of color. I was very excited to see her come back. I don't know why I thought she was coming back, but that was what I was hoping for, what was Sidwell and Natalia, who we did not see this week. And sad but not sad, it was Chase. Chase wanted to serenade his bride, and I thought that was just all the ooh. What is that face? I'm going to ignore that face and continue my recap is what I'm going to
do it, because I'm like, we will come back to this.
All right. What else happened this week? We had Lulu's big boohoo. I'm just going to summarize it like that. Lulu had this big boohoo that went all week. Woe is me. My son don't know me. She brought Rocco some cupcakes from Eckert's. But then she was like, oh, maybe he doesn't like... Anyway, she just did this whole, I've been gone for 4 years. I don't know anybody. Rah, rah, rah.
The self-pity train is starting to get real annoying.
Woo-hoo. Oh, my goodness.
Like, I get it, but I'm also like, girl, you need therapy.
Lulu had this party. She was the headliner. She was the special guest. She was the after party. She was the encore presentation. It was like, Lulu, my goodness, lady.
I'm like, stop. Here's the thing. I love Lulu, but right now I'm like, you literally went through something very traumatic, both before, during, and after you woke up from your coma. You need to see a therapist.
Well, you know what? Maybe she can have a group session with Portia. Because, you know, I've been saying all summer Portia needed therapy. Anyway, so Lulu's having this big thing that she's going on all week. Something blows up at Deception, not literally, but whatever situation blew up. So Lulu's on the phone with some supplier, ends up calling Brooklyn, who has to come in from the Savoy to deal with the situation. Ultimately, now I'm going to skip over some details, but ultimately,
words exchange.
Lulu just tears into Brooklyn in a way that is just completely inappropriate. Never mind that she's talking to her boss. Dante shows up, catches the tail end. Brooklyn goes home because she's like, you know what? You and the horse you rode in on. And the stallion that fathered this horse. Because, wow. Brooklyn goes home. I don't even know why Dante showed up at Deception, but anyway, Dante was there. He's talking to Lulu. Earlier in the day, Dante had seen Chase, and Chase revealed that he was sterile. When Dante is now talking to Lulu and telling her how offside she is and cut Brooklyn some slack, he ultimately feels he has to reveal Chase and Brooklyn's secret that they can't have children and that Chase is sterile. And then Lulu's like, oh my goodness, I've been so off base. I treated her so badly. I need to go and apologize. Okay, let's keep in mind it's, late at night. The day is nearly done. She's going to go to somebody's house to apologize, number one. And number two, Dante's like, hey, I wasn't supposed to tell you that. I was told in confidence. So I don't know why he told her that. Like, I gave you such a side eye, Dante, for that. Gave Dante such a side eye. If somebody tells you something in confidence, keep it in confidence. Unless you're married and, I think people can reasonably expect you to tell your spouse, don't say nothing. I don't understand this behavior. Anyways, so Lulu decides she's going to mind her business and go home. When Drew leaves the Savoy, Curtis called Stella to come over and finish celebrating the evening with him because Portia had to go. And then it seems that Stella knows a congressman in Washington. I had sort of tuned out. But I gather she knows a congressman in D.C. And so Curtis has asked Stella to kind of have a word with this congressman to let him know about Drew's behavior. And maybe this is not the person.
Basically make an introduction so they can get 3 steps ahead of that man.
That maybe Drew's not the person that you really want to confide in or trust or what have you.
Basically.
So we'll see how that plays out. Drew, having left the Savoy, takes Willow to the house that he's bought. She thinks it's a beautiful house. He's like, it'll look more beautiful with you in it. She's like, Shabo, what? And he's like, yeah, I want you and the kids to move in. Oh no, she says, no. My kids don't even know that me and their father are separated. Nice thought, but thank you, no. Which, again, mustard seed. Maybe no. Let's bring it in a mustard seed. A cucumber seed. I'm going to give Willow a cucumber seed of well done. Tracy, who's all up in Sasha's business again, she's like, I'm not trying to get into your business, but
I'm trying to get into your business.
Right? And eventually, she kind of pushes Sasha to the point where Sasha says, yeah, okay, fine. And I do mean Sasha. I don't mean Willow. Sasha says, yeah, fine. Jason's the father, as Jason's walking into the room and overhears this. Sasha also lets Tracy know about Elaine, the private investigator. She says, I was talking to this investigator. Just so you know, she's looking into the Quartermains. I assume it's about this custody fight between Michael and Willow. Don't know all the details, but just so you're aware. And Tracy's like, okay, thanks for the heads up. I skipped over the tiniest piece when talking about Jason, which is really the big story of the week. And maybe I should skip to the one other stories I don't necessarily care about. Where Jason tried to make peace with Drew. Drew wasn't having it. I'm just going to short form that. And that was at the tail end of the week. But the big story of the week, Liz and Lucky are over at Liz's place having their Valentine's dance, whatever. Lucky leaves. Liz is like, oh, he forgot his cake. There's a knock at the door. She thinks it's Lucky. Surprise! It's Cyrus. We're all like, Liz, shut the door! We're those horrible people in the theater that just can't, stop talking. Liz goes to shut the door. I was impressed. But of course, Cyrus jams his foot in the door and Liz does not stomp on it. Okay, fine. So Cyrus makes his way inside.
That does the thing that all villains do.
Well, just before, you got Liz anxious, like, I'm just going to bed. How can I help you? It's like, I really need to talk, but I'm so tired. No, we need to talk now. Cyrus basically says, you've been asking questions about me? What you want to know? See me here. Ask what you want to know. So then Liz is like, you know what? Okay, I'll humor you. And she asks him about I think she starts off with, why did you kill...
Why all this stuff with Lulu? She basically asked that stuff. It's like, why all this stuff with Lulu? And then proceeds to go down the trail.
I thought she came in straight and hard. Like, why did you kill Sam McCall or whoever it was? Anyway.
Nope. She asked that. She starts off, why did you do this stuff with Lulu? And it drags him into the rabbit hole.
Right. So basically, Liz hears Cyrus's confession because every villain, as Baby Sass just said, has to give their soliloquy, their monologue on why they did what they did. Mm-hmm. And he proceeds to explain what he did to Lulu. He was trying to save her from being trapped in a coma, but the meds he gave her only gave her liver failure. They didn't actually kill her. But then when Sam intervened and donated her liver for the liver transplant, well, that just messed up his mission from God. And so he had to take Sam out. He did not kill Dex for revenge. Lies. But Dex...
He said Dex was on
him. Dex saw him coming out of Samantha's room. So
which I don't believe.
I don't remember seeing that, but whatever. So that's why he had to take him out. Liar fibber. Okay, cool.
But basically he said, like, Dex was on his case or something, and then it's like, he tried to kill me before, so...
Well, yeah, he said, and by the way, I don't know if you know that, but he tried to kill me. So, but he breaks down all the reasons why he's gone and killed all these people. And Liz empathizes. It's like, oh, I see. So, I'm a nurse, and I heal people. You're healing people spiritually. So we're kind of doing the same kind of job, just from different angles. And he's like, you understand. Cyrus feels heard. It's so exciting. Liz thinks she's good. She got away. Cyrus is like, so
now you know why I have
you understand why I have to kill you now, right?
Because of course,
like, oh, you don't.
Because of course, the villain got to be monologuing, as they usually do, which is what brings them their downfall. It's villain scripting 101.
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, it's like I have revealed my plan to you. Now I must kill you. So really, that was also foreseen.
It's just so sad.
So,
So he backs Liz up against the fireplace in her living room. She has a poker. She goes to hit him.
That did not happen.
She reached for the poker. You didn't see him?
No.
Oh, she did.
I just saw.
She reached for the poker, and as she reached for the poker,
Shaggy busted.
I was gonna say, in basic scripting 101, the hero comes to the door. Enter AKA, Lucky recast,
aka Shaggy.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm not referring to West Indian Shaggy.
Unhand that woman, you foul miscreant!
Oh
it's
gosh!
Like, what is happening right now?
I will say though, the one good thing that this
I had a whole thing going, touching my flow.
I did, because I'm like, but I will say the one good thing that this temporary recast did was the intensity and the depth of his let her go or get away from her, unhand her, whatever he done said in that moment. That was chef's kiss.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That was the only thing I liked about that replacement.
I think Jonathan Jackson would have done it equally well.
Well, of course! It's Lucky!
Right?
Hell, would have had me actually swooning.
Okay, but so let me go back 4 minutes now, and let me reenact the scene. Unhand her, you foul miscreant! Oh my goodness, I've been caught! And then the two men fight. They wrestle over the syringe that's full of digitalis. You think that Lucky is about to be the victor? Psh, I don't even understand what happened in that scene. Like, I missed the choreography. But anyway, Cyrus is on his knees and his hand is free with the needle. So he jabs it in Lucky's leg, which is as Liz comes back down the stairs, because she ran, sensible woman. Why she didn't run out the door, I don't know, but I'm assuming she went to get her cell phone, because she came down on the phone with 911, and then she's like, oh my gosh, Lucky, because she sees the syringe.
Which is also a little confusing, because when she came home with Lucky before, we didn't see her go upstairs. She opened the door, and there's a cake on the table. And then she went to the kitchen to talk to Aiden, and then...
Listen, nitpicky details that we're looking for. We're looking for some semblance of reality. Because I thought her phone was right there. But any case, so as she's on the phone with 911, there's an intruder in my home, and then she names him is Cyrus Renault, at which point Cyrus snaps out of whatever blind rage he's in.
Or the disorientation of getting punched in the face.
Oh, that's true. Lucky to give him a good shot. That was bad choreography. But anyways, or maybe it's a bad edit for the punch sound. Because it just sounded like pip as opposed to baff. But anyway. So Cyrus hears his name and he's like, oh shoot. Books it out the door.
Papa Smoke. He said, meet me.
Oh my goodness. Liz is trying to do CPR on Lucky. Eventually the ambulance and the police come. Lucky's transported to hospital. So I've kind of gone out of the recap at this point because this is the end of the recap, but more details.
Oh, we won't.
Oh, what did I miss? Did I miss something in the recap? Because I'm going to go more into depth.
I was going to say Joss and Hirsch.
Well, this is right. This is where I'm going into much more detail.
All right.
So
recap over. We're
not going to talk about anything else for a minute, but this main plot line of the week. So Cyrus takes off. Lucky's at the hospital. Anna and Jordan and Laura are in a meeting trying to just figure out what they're going to do about Jen Sidwell and Drew, their partnership. Phone rings. Anna's phone rings, that is. So Anna's like, oh, I gotta take this. She goes outside. It's her officers telling her what happened over at Liz's place. And she's like, gosh darn it. We were planning to arrest him. We should have done it sooner. Now we've, lost our chance. Whatever. It's panned back into the room. Laura's phone's ringing maybe about 2 minutes later. Laura answers the phone. It's Liz. She's in the tiniest bit of hysterics. You've got to get to the hospital. Lucky's been hurt. So Laura and Jordan head off to the hospital.
And see, this is where I wonder if Laura was like, oh no, don't let it be Sidwell.
No, I don't think it was. All right, but who knows?
Because she was worried that Lucky was going to do something stupid.
She did.
Which, she feared Lucky doing something stupid involving Sidwell more than Cyrus. So
right.
It's entirely possible she did fear that it was a Sidwell-related thing.
Yes, indeed. So Laura goes over to the hospital with Jordan. Jordan calls Lulu.
Which I'm still like...
hospital. Right, because they get to the hospital and Liz has reached the hospital at this point. Laura, I don't know how he's going to be. I don't know how he's doing, but they're working on him. Laura's like, oh my gosh, with the big soap opera eyes.
Right, but what has me more confused is why Jordan called Laura instead of Laura calling...
Why Jordan called Lulu?
Thank you. Instead of Laura calling Lulu. Because I think she would call her on, like, Jordan's driving to the hospital, because I think Laura would be too, distraught and frantic.
Agreed.
So while in that distraught and frantic situation, whatever, emotions, you would be like, yo, child, get to the hospital.
She doesn't know what's happened.
Even still.
So she has no information.
Even still.
So now that they're at the hospital, they have more information. Jordan called Lulu, interrupting her conversation with Dante and her mad flight over to Brooklyn's house, fortunately.
Thank God.
Oh, actually, I did miss something in the recap, but I'm going to come back to it.
Recap's done.
Well, no, it's an important story point. I'm not sure how I missed it, so I have to come back to it.
We'll come back to it, just not in the recap.
So Lulu ends up at the hospital. Cool, fine. They're talking. Liz is talking to Laura and says Cyrus.
Yeah, filling her in on what happened.
Yeah, right.
Giving her the details of, like, why her brother would do this.
Right.
It's like, sorry, Laura, but your brother's a psycho.
Right. Not like Laura was surprised, but now she got real concrete evidence. Anna shows up at Liz's house, and more. Now she's doing her whole boo-hoo. I can't believe I messed up again. I should have done more to apprehend Cyrus.
I wonder how glassy her eyes were.
Now we've got another victim.
And lo and behold,
Cyrus has made his way.
Oh no! Not even
sorry.
that.
That's where I was going. And then, so she says, and now he's hurt Lucky
and
as Aiden comes in the door, and he's like, wait, what?
Yep, says the words, I don't know if Lucky will make it. Enter Lucky's son. And it's like, wow. And as we're talking through this, I was looking at my notes and I'm like, I don't even remember this. This seems so long ago. This is a week. So much happened in a week. So Anna takes Aiden over to the hospital. Yep.
In the meantime, Cyrus is doing the Flight of the Valkyrie. Off he's gone back to the woods, where Joss Jax has carried her little behind with her fast self. So she's in the cabin searching through things. And I'm sorry, for anybody out there who has ever watched an episode of Law and Order, any kind of crime show, or movie.
Time out. Did you just say Law and Order?
I don't think I did, but maybe I went British. Law and Order.
Probably, because I'm like, that did not sound like Law and Order.
But anybody who's watched any kind of crime show, any kind of clip on YouTube of the dumbest criminals in the world.
Oh my God.
Rule number 1, we all know this. Wear gloves. Why are you touching up the people them things and your hand is bare? She opening doors, she going through drawers, she opening books, she turning on, well, she didn't turn on lights, but she just all over this place with her bare hands.
Also,
she finds the goods.
She does. No, keep going.
She finds the goods, she snaps the pictures, and she's like, you can almost see in her face, yes, Cyrus, I got you now, you're going down for this. And then just as she finishes snapping the picture and is putting her phone back in her purse, the front door, kablam!
I swear to God, it's like they were, instead of filming a soap opera, it's like they were filming a horror movie. I don't know what these camera people and lighting people were thinking, but they were having their meeting before filming. They're like, you know what? We're going with the horror thriller vibes with Cyrus. So anytime he's in a dark-ish space and looming and looking all menacing, we gotta make sure the lighting and the camera positions are just right.
This scene was done well. It had me going, huh? But it was done so well. So kablam!
And I knew it was coming.
The door opens. Joss spins around in surprise. Cyrus is standing in the door, giving her the most menacing look you can imagine. Joss is standing there quaking. Oh! And then Cyrus walks away. He just turns and walks away. And we were like, huh?
I knew he wasn't walking away to walk away.
But then he came back with an axe. I was like, blows and skirts. Okay.
He went from, I'm going to be the angel of death with my peaceful killings, and I'm gonna go full axe murder on your behind. To be honest, that was a very small axe. I'm like, that's not even enough.
It's a hatchet.
I don't even care if it was a hatchet. I'm like, that wasn't that thing looked so puny. I'm like,
a tomahawk,
right? Thank you. I take it more as a tomahawk than a hatchet or an axe, because I looked at that thing. I said, that doesn't even look like it could chop a toothpick.
Like, come on, you exaggerate.
No, because I'm like,
that small.
No. I say this because I'm like, that looks like it can't chop a toothpick, let alone a decent thick block of wood to give you firewood. I was expecting a fireman's axe for more of an axe.
Those?
They apparently have Halligan. So
oh no!
No, I've seen shows with Halligan, so I'm like, I was ready for them to bring out a whole fireman's axe. No, it didn't have to be an actual fireman's axe, but I'm like, I'm expecting a big ass axe. Ready for this man to go for a whole axe murder situation.
Oh my
goodness. He might as well like he was ready to be Jason Voorhees.
I can't even
might as well pull out a machete.
I cannot go back to my menacing.
Also, Jocelyn, here's another thing. If you don't want to actually get caught, aside from, the man busting through the door in a moment of panic, but, if you don't actually want to get caught and have people know that you were there, like the last time, put things back properly. Don't just leave things all tussled, because then they know. Because that's exactly why Cyrus thought Liz was the one who was asked why he was sus about Liz and broke into his apartment because you didn't put things back the way you found them.
Indeed, holy moly!
Because I tell you this, even I knew that from a young age when I go snooping. I put things back how I found it. I know.
Yeah, you didn't do a good enough job.
I was a kid.
At least you tried. At least you tried.
Exactly. I'm an adult now. I know how to do better.
So he comes in with the axe. Axe. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have come here. Or whatever he says to her, and she's like, ah. And she has one hand behind her back.
You murdered Dex. How could you, yet idiot?
Yeah, she does her whole thing, stalling for time with her hands behind her back. Here's a surprise: she has a gun. So. This is where I was surprised. She pulls the gun. Now, Cyrus did hesitate very momentarily, but I guess he thought, in for a penny, in for a pound. So he lunges at her, plam, plam, plam. She shoots him. He's on the floor.
And then says the words to her, who's the murderer now? Dead.
But what, come on, villains. What is with your last breath speech?
And sadly, nobody follows this rule anymore. Because this is how people come back to life in soap operas. Do you think that, like, she kicked his leg? Okay, great. She felt his pulse. Again, bare hands. Idiot. But okay.
I don't know if you can get fingerprints off a body if that's what you're alluding to. But okay, go on.
But anyway, checks for a pulse. No pulse. Great. Just, but you just want to be sure. So you know what? Just to be safe, put one between the eyes. Put one directly to the heart. Goodness. Give him one more shot.
It's a soap opera. This is not supernatural.
No. This is just through any circumstance. You want to make sure they're dead.
Listen. Stop. We are not advocating any kind of violence out there. Let's just be clear. So I guess what you're saying is, when you're watching your fictional stories, you would like to see this measure of diligence.
Right?
Okay. Holy moly. So, that being said,
people always make that mistake.
Once Joss establishes that the man is good and dead, she's like, oh crap, what have I done? She calls for help. She pulls up her contact list. She got Jason and she got Jack Brennan, one after the other.
Which is why I like. Right. Because it's really like, who will she call?
One right after the other.
Who are you going to call?
She makes a call and she calls Jack to come and help.
Obviously.
Oh.
Because we can't put Jason at the scene.
Right.
Because that just makes things worse.
Okay. So she calls Jack. Jack comes to help her out, gets her out of Dodge, says that going to clean up the scene because they really can't call police because she walked in there with a gun, and it seems like premeditation. So you know what? We're going to clean it up unless you don't think you can keep your mouth shut.
Right.
In which case we will call the police. She's like, she goes, I can keep my mouth shut. Great. So they leave. They go back to WSB headquarters. Jack sends Colette in to do cleanup, but Colette's like, we can't do a whole heap of cleanup because
ABC just happened with Loki with
right? Anna's already on the case, so it's going to be a matter of time before she finds the cabin. He's like, do it anyway. Okay, if you say so. So,
I will say I don't think Joss can do this.
I don't either.
She gonna snap. She already came down with the sickness in the bathroom. She can't.
Yeah.
She says, I can keep my mouth shut. I'm like, how are you going to look your mom, your sisters, your brother, your best friend, basically anyone in the eye, basically actually your entire family, really, in the eye, and act like everything is okay.
Don't see how she can do it.
Can't do it.
But okay. But Jack lets Colette know that, yeah, he's planning to recruit Joss as an agent,
which we
kind of suspected. I don't remember if we said it in our predictions.
I've been thinking that since December.
As have I, but it was just like, sir,
ever since Christmas.
Come on. So, I'm actually really glad they recast my Silver Fox and put this dude in, because my heart would break to think that the previous actor who played Jack Brennan would do this kind of dirt. How you gonna kiss up the mama and be manipulating her daughter? I can't. Well, then again, that's exactly what Drew did. The
thing that caught me off guard in that whole situation, aside from Josh shooting the man and not doing it, and again she thwarts my fun. You really don't like me.
I don't know that you want to have this conversation in a podcast. But listen, it was just a whole lot, and I'm just mad because Anna read Jason the Riot Act, and now that with this cleanup, we know Jason's going into hot water.
My only hope is that because from what Anna said at the hospital when she was talking with Dante and Jordan, is that they had footage of Cyrus driving southeast, and I would hope that Jason did not drive southeast to go to see his dumbass of a brother.
Indeed.
Because also Jason does not have an alibi. So and there's no way that man will give him an alibi.
No, not at all.
So
not at all.
He's gonna so it's very clear that I'm gonna hush. That's a prediction.
Oh, okay. But fair.
I just thought of it, but I realized that's a prediction.
Okay, because I don't know that Tracy and Sasha will probably give Jason an alibi. But depending on what timing they give, is it enough time for him to?
That's what I'm saying.
To get back.
Yeah, I'm like, either way, the idea that I have of what could happen is a prediction.
All right. Why don't we talk about comedy moment of the week?
How about we go to the? Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. Sorry, I did look at the. I was like, right, fair enough. Comedy moment of the week.
Yeah. Did you have one?
Shoot, I know I did. I'm trying to remember because I thought you wrote it.
You told me you did.
I know, and I thought you wrote it.
Those are your notes, not mine.
Then I guess the comedy moment of the week was when, from what I remember saying, was when. Oh my goodness.
Was it at the Savoy?
No, it was. No, I said that was a sad moment. No, the comedy moment of the week was basically Cyrus coming in his axe murderous ways.
Oh.
But aside from that, was Spinelli being all happy go lucky, being Cupid for the night, and it's like, and not only that, he got so bad when Gunther left that he thought Lucas had done something, or that no, that Gunther was a jerk or whatever for leaving. I'm just like, Spinelli, chill out. Like, you are adorable right now, but chill out.
Absolutely.
But I would say my other comedy moment, aside from those two, would be when Kai is at the table with Trina trying to be like, yeah, I got...
That's what you said was your comedy moment.
I got us, I got us into this hottest club, and Trina's like, did you have to call in some favors, pull some strings? He's like, yeah. Trying to be all, like, smooth with it. Trying to impress the girl. And she's just like, okay, yeah. Nice. And I'm really sitting there like, will she tell him or will she just let him have this moment? And she's like, Kai, I can't do this to you. And he's like, what? It's like, I've been here before. And he's like, of course you have. You're so like, you're stylish. Popular. You're cool. Like, of course you've been here. It's like, yeah, actually, I really like it here. Actually, I know the owner. You know the owner? Yeah. Trina proceeds to lean over, look past Kai, and say, hi, Dad. And waves. And both her mom and Curtis look over at Trina and wave back. And Kai's like, gosh dang it. And I'm just like,
oh, nothing like a pinprick to the balloon, huh?
I'm just like, this poor boy. Even if I don't know how I could, I can't even imagine being in that position. Mm-hmm. But it's also kind of funny too, because I'm not directly related to this person, but I do know I'm related in the fact that close family, consider them family anyway. But like, I have a family member who has a family member who owns a restaurant. I'm not gonna say which one because I'm not gonna put business out there. But like, I don't know the person who owns the restaurant personally or that well either. So like, I can't be like, I can't go to this restaurant on a date and they'd be like, yeah, I pulled some strings, and I'm just like, yeah, this is a nice place. And then be like, oh yeah, I know the owner. And then walk up to the kitchen and be like, hey dude. And then be like, hey, what's up, girl? Like, I can't do that. Even though technically, to an extent, I could. But again, I don't know.
You couldn't.
I say to an extent I could.
Not even. There's no extent. You could try that.
Well, I could just be like, yo, how's so-and-so?
You could try that in a hospital maybe, but not.
I could do that in a hospital. I could do that in a hospital.
But not a restaurant.
No.
Comedy moment for me, and unfortunately this happened in a storyline I could care less about and haven't mentioned, but Emma and Gio at one point go to Bobby's.
Oh God.
Because Emma wants to ask Joss for help with her students against
animal cruelty.
Animal cruelty, that's right, there's 2 A's.
I know, I thought it was 1 and I was like,
it's not working. So Emma is really badgering Joss for help. And Joss is trying to get out of there so she can get to the cabin. And at one point, Emma says something, and Gio turns to her just stone face, like a dog with an
ungrateful dog with a bone.
An ungrateful dog with a bone.
Yes, because Joss was like, I can't help you write this speech, but I can donate and get my family to donate. And Emma was just like,
oh yeah,
you and your rich people, yada
throwing money at a problem. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And Gio's like,
he just called her out. It's so stone-faced. And I was just like, yes, Gio, tell her about herself. Bravo.
See,
Bravo. That is a whole proper avocado seed of kudos.
Right, and it's funny because I think about it, and I've been saying from time how I think the writers are going to set up Gio and Emma, and then he did make a comment, and I was like, don't say that. And I was like, but seeing like how Emma is now, like if it was the old Emma, I'd be like, yes, do it. Now I'm just like, don't do that. If you put them together, that's gonna be a real bad relationship.
Indeed. So that was my comedy moment of the week. All right, I know you've been waiting for this. Let's talk about. I almost want to skip over it just to irritate you. Yeah, you know what? I am gonna skip over it just for a quick second. You said you had something for Who Called for That, or what'd you do that for?
Oh, that was also I was gonna add that into What Had Me Hot. But
okay, well then.
But it's okay. No, but it does fall for Who Called for This, and I will because.
Oh gosh, she's sitting forward.
I have to sit forward.
She's leaning up. Get ready, people. She's posting up.
Casting.
Oh.
Question for you. When you needed a temporary replacement for Lucky, why is it that you went with Shaggy? And again, not West Indian Shaggy, not the
Scooby-Doo,
not even the proper Scooby-Doo Shaggy. Why did you go with the Scooby-Doo Shaggy lookalike? Because I was not having. I said, "Who is this man?" And again, no hate to the actor who played Lucky for the 2 to 3 days that he was on set, but why? Because one, I was thoroughly disappointed when I finally got the Liz and Lucky kiss I wanted. I had to cover the screen because it wasn't right. Lucky, I couldn't watch Liz kiss Shaggy. I couldn't do it. Why is it?
Oh, my mercy.
Why is it that Shaggy had to come in and save Liz? I was like, oh, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then these people, thankfully, when he got to the hospital, it was proper Lucky. So I was like, okay, I can understand these people crying over this Lucky, because if this Lucky dies, we're gonna have issues.
Oh my goodness.
But overall, also it was just really awkward because. Was it proper Lucky or was it Shaggy Lucky who came home and found Aiden with his boyfriend? And because I feel like I want to say it was Shaggy Lucky.
I don't remember. Stories I don't care about.
But anyway, I thought it was so awkward.
Which is terrible. Because I try to care about all of them because we're giving a recap in a podcast, right?
Either way, please don't bring Shaggy Lucky back.
No.
I think he'd be great in something else, but I can't.
If you want to have him as a temporary recast for Lucas,
no.
Sure. Listen, because, and I say it simply because Jonathan Jackson, Lucky, has this like baby face. He barely looks 30, 35. This guy came in, and I was like, "Who's this old-haired Batman?"
Fair.
Even with the hair, this man looked old. There was a camera shot. Again, HD TV does not do these actors any favors.
Fair.
I'm just like,
but I will say
20 years difference? What?
Fine. But I will say that, like, if you want to bring this guy in as a whole new character, sure. Right? New guy in town, one of Sidwell's men, I'm cool with that.
I don't like you want to see. He looks so flimsy.
That's fair. I'm just saying, a new character, he business no business. Wants to do business with Selena. Okay. I don't mind.
Background,
right? One of the background people who doing some foolishness, like not actually communicating with the actual people they supposed to be communicating with, not moving the mouse. I mean, that's fine. Don't bring him back as Lucky. don't do that. Please no.
All right, so is that what had you hot as well? That goes into both, or
that was a small what had me hot, but definitely a who called for this because I did not call for Shaggy.
No, we did not. All right, I'm gonna start off with what had me hot. I'm gonna start because I have two. Lulu.
Oh yes,
Lulu could not have been more out of place if she tried, and she tried.
Oh, very much so. As I said, this woman, it's like it's as if whatever she's on screen, it's no longer General Hospital. It's as if it's the Lulu show.
What in the world? I don't even have words. Just Lulu. Like, get some self-awareness. What in the... Sam Hill? Who's Sam Hill, by the way? I'm going to have to look that up.
But, I understand when she explained to Dante about, she missed 4 years of her life and it felt like Brooklyn had stepped into those roles.
That was some good writing.
I can understand the Maxie thing the most.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm having trouble with, you know, the her being upset with, you know, her and Tracy. I'm like, Tracy's her paternal grandmother. Like,
yeah.
What do you expect to happen? Like, she's always respected her grandma. She's always looked up to her grandma. Like, you know, her having a job that she's not qualified for. I'm like, if you took a second to actually get to know Brooklyn and her life, you would understand that Brooklyn doesn't want the job at Deception. She'd rather be managing musicians and stuff. She's only there because she made a deal with Tracy, and Tracy's like, I want you to have a fallback plan. I'm not saying that, you know, being a music manager isn't going to work out for you. I have complete and utter faith, but life isn't always, you know, 100%, and I want you to have a fallback just in case, and I want to teach you what you need to know should that be the case. So there's that. And then she mentioned, aside from Maxie and Tracy and possibly the job, there was one other thing she mentioned, and I'm like, wait a minute. But I'm like, but aside from that, I'm like, her explaining that makes total sense. My one thing is, though, it's not like she didn't fully step into your life, because it's not like she ended up rekindling that relationship she had with Dante that you have no clue about, and ended up being that surrogate mom for Rocco. That I can understand you being totally mad about. But that didn't happen.
Except that her and Dante were divorced, and she remembers that.
Right. But again, that didn't happen. She fell in love with Dante's best friend. They're married. They have a life that she is happy for. And you being jealous of that life is a natural human reaction, because, you know, but it's also like,
I don't know.
Get over it.
A little bit. But there was one thing that Lulu said to Brooklyn directly.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like...
Major lines were crossed.
Lady.
Major lines were crossed.
Brooklyn is like, what did you call me for? This is not my department. Like, did you even try to call Maxie, whose responsibility it actually is? And Lulu looked Brooklyn dead in her face and said, I didn't want to ruin her Valentine's Day plans.
Yeah, she's like, no, I didn't want to ruin her first Valentine's Day back with Spinelli.
And Brooklyn's like, what the...
So
you must be...
It's like, first, and I'm like, I'm surprised she didn't say, well, first of all, Maxie's sick, so you actually could have called her.
Right. What she actually said was, okay, but this is mine and Chase's first Valentine's Day together as a married couple, and you feel no way about that.
And to which Lulu was like,
Lulu didn't have the grace to be like, yeah, exactly. Just like, oh, I didn't think about that.
No, but...
You know, and Brooklyn just read right and erased her.
Right?
Holy.
And also, I agree that it's like, Brooklyn had every right to be mad with, like, not only the fact that she basically interrupted her Valentine's Day, but also that she was completely and utterly rude to a client that, if you were paying attention during the last meeting, if you ever ended up having that meeting, you need that client. As she said, it's like, it's not that he needs us so we can, you know, dangle the fruits of labor above his head. No. We need him because he has what we need to keep our company running. Yep. And it's just like,
listen, anyway. So
just the names and stuff was just...
Yes. So that is one thing that had me hot. The other thing that had me very hot, which I believe you were trying to get to, but I'm going to blurt it out. Jack Brennan, you piece of dirty business.
That was one of the things, but I was still on the Lulu thing.
Oh, you have more on the Lulu thing?
Yes, her crossing major lines and saying, if bad things are happening to you, it's because you deserve it. And the whole child thing, and it's just like, Wola. I'm like, wow, just... I get now, Lulu now discovering it's like, oh, they can't have a kid. And she's like, I know what that feels like. We went through the same things. It's like, okay, great. But what you said was still so very much uncalled for that no woman should ever hear that. No woman should ever hear if you're not getting what you want, it's because you deserve not to have it. It's like...
No person, never mind any woman, no person should hear that.
Fair enough. But in the case of her being like, well, you so desperately want children. If you're not having children, well, that's on you. It's kind of like... Ma'am, do I need to slap you left, right, center, and everywhere that... What?
I wish they would.
I'm like, so many lines have been crossed in these last weeks, if not months, and I'm just like, why is it always the pregnancy lines that are being crossed?
But I will say, because I did complain about this earlier, Lulu has found the different gears of the car. She's not angry all the time. You know, a little bit self-involved and selfish, but you know, she's doing a good job. The actress is doing a good job.
She is.
Can I go back to Jack, the dirty piece of business, master manipulator, so offside? Where this man come from?
Jack, you're breaking our hearts.
Oh my mercy!
We saw it coming, but we didn't see this one coming.
No.
No, we saw the master manipulator part coming. We didn't see what he done said coming.
Jack is talking to Jocelyn,
filling her in,
and Jocelyn is saying, "I shot the man in self-defense." And Jack looked her in her two big blue eyes and says, "Yeah, I know. I was outside." I was like, "What? Oh my goodness! Threw the table over. You were where?"
I know. I think I blacked out. I want to say I blacked out for a good second after him saying that.
Oh my goodness. It's a wonder Jocelyn didn't snatch back the gun and shoot him 2 times he own self. Oh my mercy.
That or slap him.
What?
Like here's the thing. I would have been in shock. Like he would have said the words. I would have stared at him. I would have just been blink, blink, blink. And he probably would have said the next thing, and out of reflex, slap. Just reflex.
Oh my goodness. I don't even think I could talk about it anymore. But that I was just like...
All I will say... Oh
my goodness.
Carly will find out about this. And when she finds out about this, all bets are off.
Oh my goodness. Because freaking colonizer. What is that?
Because I will say this. It's one thing to keep secrets from Carly, which Shorty doesn't like. But it's another thing to keep secrets about her child.
Listen.
Carly. Put her child in danger.
I don't feel sorry for Carly.
You know, trying to recruit her into more danger.
Don't feel sorry for Carly. Carly has been warned. And Carly's like, no, but wait. I love him. I mean, she hasn't quite gone that far, but you know, she's feeling good. So I don't feel sorry for Carly a bit. And thank you for calming me down so that we could talk about our villains and our heroes of the week.
Nope.
No? Okay, well then I'll go ahead.
No, it's not that. It's because I'm like, I didn't get into what had me sad. I went into what had me hot. I didn't say what had me sad. And it's very quick.
No, go ahead.
Valentine's Day. Curtis. Oh, I got a surprise for everyone. I won't tell who the surprise guest is.
Oh, I talked about that in the recap.
Did.
Okay, go on.
And we're like, well, it can't be Curtis's dad, because that's not really a surprise. That's just kind of sad. And then Mom's like, oh, maybe it's Blaze. And my heart.
But that's not me. That's my fault.
You got my heart happy. You got my hopes high. And then I was like, oh, that's possible. You know, right in time for Valentine's Day. And then Chase came in saying, I know the surprise guest, which really is what, you know, really had us believing it.
Yeah,
and then
I thought they were going to come and do a duet. You're right.
And then Curtis is like, let me welcome our special guest, Chase. And I said, psh. I'm like, I love Chase. But I was like, boo. But I was like, psh. But then he started singing Brooklyn's song. And then really, I was like, oh, maybe Blaze will walk up on stage, and that'll be a really nice surprise for Brooklyn.
Didn't happen.
She didn't show up. My hopes was dashed. My mama dashed my hopes. She got him up and then dashed him like Greeks at a wedding, dashing him upon the floor.
Yeah, okay. Just try not to flame me too much in the comments, people. I'm sorry.
She really likes to ruin my fun.
I'm gonna redirect that to the writers. Y'all missed a trick.
You really did.
You missed a trick. And to the actress that plays Blaze, if you were on another assignment, lady, come on. Come on.
You could have taken a few hours.
For real. Anyhow, you send in a recording, send in a holographic whatever. Come on. Anyway, villain, hero of the week. Can we go to villain?
Yes.
Okay. Who's your villain of the week?
Sarge for the axe murder. Jack for, saying he was there and manipulating Joss.
Fix your face.
No, I'm so upset. Leave me alone.
All right. My villain of the week is Lulu for the reasons already stated. I don't even need to add
that too.
Anything else.
Can't forget about that.
But I'm very excited for my hero of the week. Don't look at me like that. They can't see it. One day we'll add video. My hero of the week is Chase.
Yes.
Storyline that I did not mention, so let me mention it to you all now, because that's where I was like, oh, I forgot something, but I will bring it in now. Chase, after Brooklyn came in from the office, and after Chase finished on stage and Brooklyn had to take off, went home, put these beautiful rose petals all about the room, was sitting there, and these corny... Speaking of comedy moment of the week, these comedy
red boxers.
But never mind. Chase is wearing them. Okay, I know. Many of y'all had your hearts very happy. And Brooklyn was like, "Oh, it's so sweet." They start kissing, and then Brooklyn pulls away, and they say whatever they say, and it ends up that Chase starts getting upset, and he's regretting again. He's expressing how heartbroken he is that he cannot give Brooklyn a child and that she will never experience the joy of pregnancy. And he's going on, and then Brooklyn can't take it anymore, and she blurts out that she's already been pregnant. She's already had a child. Chase is stunned, obviously.
Thankfully, no one busted in the door when she screamed and like, oh my God, I heard screaming. And then the words came out, because I would have been like, But anyway.
So Chase is stunned.
I was scared.
But then...
I was so scared.
The most compassionate response came out of this man. Like, tell me about it. So Brooklyn tells him the story. She got pregnant as a teen, gave the baby away. And he's like, that must have been so hard for you. Did you have support? And, so she's just telling him all the things she experienced. And she gave the child away, never saw the baby. So she doesn't know if it's male or female. And then she says, ask me whatever you want. Anything you want to know.
I have one question.
He looks her dead in her eye and says, are you okay?
Not the question we all thought he was going to ask.
Man, almost had to put that on pause and go get my reams of tissue paper to wipe my eyes.
I really thought he was going to ask about the father.
Well, I'm sure we all did. But just the most heartfelt, compassionate, caring response that anybody who's any kind of relationship, when they're sharing something traumatic with another person, that's the kind of response you would hope for. So,
Chase, major applause. Writers, if you don't make Brooklyn and Chase the next Lila and Edward, I'm coming for you.
Well, Edward on his good days, not Edward the philanderer.
No, of course not. No.
All right. I believe we have covered all the majors.
Yes.
So that just leaves us with predictions.
Yes. So, predictions. Unfortunately, I do think Joss is going to go back.
Back
to the WSB, and I hope to God she doesn't, because that's not a life I think she'd be able to handle. So, no Joss, don't go back to the WSB. But I do think that Joss will break. If she doesn't break, I will be surprised. I think she'll break and tell somebody, because I honestly don't think Joss will be able to handle that secret. In terms of Cyrus's body having gone missing, and as I said about, alibis for Jason and whatnot, I don't think that man will give Jason an alibi. If anything, I think he will try to, really go with Jason done did this? Yes, Anna, I don't know why you're still standing here not arresting this man. It's very clear he done did it. Mm-hmm. So, sorry, Jason, but you was in trouble, and your brother ain't gonna help you.
But that may be the thing that makes Joss confess, actually. One would hope. Yeah. So how long do you think it'll be before we find out properly and the rest of the family finds out that Gio is Brooklyn and Chase's, or Brooklyn and
Dante's?
Hopefully they don't find out the Dante part, but Brooklyn's son. Let's go with that.
Well, let's see. This coming week will be the last week of February. So we have this final week of February sweeps, which is usually a little bit dry, I find. Mm-hmm. And then we won't have any more sweeps until May. So I think it'll lead up. I think it'll be a good while. I'll be surprised if we get it within the next few
I agree.
next
I think
few
it'll
weeks
be May
or within the month.
I think it'll be May sweeps before that comes out.
Yeah, if anything, I think the truth will hit just before May sweep starts, so maybe like the week before, maybe on a Friday. So it's how we're leading into. But yeah.
Okay. And how long before we get a new Michael on the screen, do you think?
Probably April.
Oh, you think it'll take that long? Oh, okay. I figured it'd be mid of March. All right.
Yep.
But I agree with your predictions. I think Joss will go to the WSB. I was trying to remember what she was studying before she decided she was going to be a doctor. Was that ecology? Nature or something?
No. So she was studying to be a doctor before, but then she...
No.
Yes. She was studying to be a doctor before, but then she switched majors into...
nature sciences or something like that.
Yeah.
But wasn't she studying something before that even? And then Dex got shot and showed up at the gatehouse looking for Michael?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Honestly,
how many times do you have to tell me you don't know?
No, I say I don't know because really, like, oof, I just don't.
That's fine. That's fair.
Because really, how many students change their majors ever so often? I just know she was studying when they were in the dorms, and it was a medical major. That's as far as I knew.
You think we'll get a new Spencer and Esme for the summer?
In the sense of recasting?
Well, recasting Spencer
for sure.
I think the same Esme will come back.
I will find it hilarious if she loses her memories again.
Ha!
But
that would be funny.
But the odds of them coming back, recasted but coming back.
You don't think so?
No, it's just been too long.
Well, it's been too long, but the thing is, usually in the summer, you have the teen storyline, right? Because the adults are off on vacation, whatever. So summer, we often have these summer storylines with the teens. And it's like, we don't really have any teens. So it's going to be like the college set. So I think it's going to be more Emma, more Gio, Trina, and Kai.
I know we have Danny, so...
We might have Danny and Rocco.
Charlotte.
Oh, yeah, that's... Just bring back Valentine. Charlotte can stay wherever she's at. But yeah. Okay, cool. And anything else before we wrap up for today? Oh, you've just... Nope. You're done. I see your face.
Sorry, it's been... Shockingly, it's been a long day, even though I haven't really done anything today.
Oh, I thought it was the recap. It's just like, I can't. Jack, you broke me.
There's so many things that broke me this week. And then we got to deal with next week. Or this following week, I should say.
This following week. So, again, reminder that starting tomorrow for us, but by the time you hear the podcast, or by the time we drop it, it'll be today. So starting Monday, February 24th, Beyond the Gates on CBS at 2 p.m. Eastern. The story of the Dupree family. It looks like it's full of shame and scandal and bacchanal and confusion.
Right. I swear, if there's a murder in the first week, oh! But, I know that, maybe the Duprees will give me the slaps I've been wanting.
Maybe. But you know what that means then? If Beyond the Gates is starting next week, and we are including it in this recap, you know what that means? Episode 9, we will properly be soaps and sass.
That's true.
All right, so have a great week, and signing off, I am Mama Sass.
And I am a very tired baby Sass.
Have a great week, y'all.
Bye.